and I am with Dawn today. So all of us clearly are in lockdown, so we're all in our own homes, and
Because of this mysterious disease.
because of this global disease that we all know and have heard in the news. So, as with everyone else, our meetings have been held over the phone, over this online meetings. And one of the things that we talked about is how this disease is affecting all of us. So, not just health wise, but also in this industry that Presello is in. So, we were just throwing around ideas, and um, as you know, as you probably know, Presello is a real estate brokerage company, and we handle hundreds of clients every week. And since we are dealing with real estate, we think it's important that you guys also get ideas on how the current stock market is doing, or how the climate is changing, and how it will affect the real estate market as a whole. So that's why I have Don with me today.
Yeah. So
I mean, by the way, let us know down below. We are posting this on YouTube, right?
yes, we're posting this on YouTube. So you
Okay,
guys,
so let us know. Yeah, down below if you want to see more of this, because basically we can't shoot house tours right now. This is what we can shoot though. So, and we still want to keep in touch with you, so that's why we're doing. Okay,
so like,
so current happening.
so
What is going on in a nutshell?
So, as we already know, there's this mysterious disease that's spreading. Mysterious in a sense that no one knows how to stop it, no one knows how to cure it, or there's no vaccine for it yet. So, basically, this mysterious disease has been infecting over 800,000 people in the entire world. And as of filming of this video, I think there is no cure, no vaccine, like I said already. And everything is and because of this disease that's affecting everything, businesses are shutting down, the markets are changing in a sense that the stock market isn't as bullish as it used to be. So people always think that you just invest in stocks and the stocks will go up, but now the stock market has crashed, I think 25 or 30% since the beginning of this. Yeah, so everyone's a bit, everyone's panicking a bit and being worried. And don't worry, guys. I'm not here to scare you, but I'm going to give you the dope straight. So I'm trying to. I'm gonna I'm gonna give you the real talk. But before that, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because we need the likes and the subscribes. So now so we can keep on doing this. So now what's happening here is so the stock market, it crashed like 25% to 30% in the past month, I think, or month and a half. And for
It's huge.
yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So basically, for example, for the Philippine Stock Exchange, it was around 8,000 points, and it went down to around 4,000 points. It's close to half. And that means if someone had their money in the stock market, let's say you had money in the stock market, you have 1 million there. Baka ang pera mo na, maybe your funds right now, your equity wouldn't be a 1 million anymore. It would be 500,000. That's
it's gonna be reduced to half.
Yes, and it's because of that, it's causing a lot of worry to a lot of people, and lots of people are having problems coping with this. And as you all know, we're so the interesting thing is, since we're a real estate brokerage, our focus more is on real estate. So
On real estate, of course.
yeah.
So there are different kinds of investments, but obviously we focus more on the real estate side of investment.
Yes, and since we want to give people some ideas on how this recent stock market crash is going to affect the the real estate market as a whole. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but um, everything is the dynamics of the industry is changing. Some people are still denying it. They don't want to believe that it's happening. They still think real estate is gonna keep on going up, which I think it will in the long term.
It
But
it will eventually,
it
yeah.
will. But for the short term, there is, unfortunately, just to be straightforward with people, it's really gonna affect the market. But so what happens here is we want to talk about the different types of ways that this market is changing and how it's going to affect the real estate market. So just to give an idea of what happened in the stock market, it triggered the circuit breakers of the
Circuit
PSE.
breaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PSE is the Philippine Stock Exchange. So the circuit breaker is basically it's this cutoff system that just in case if the stocks drop more than 10% in a given period of time, it will hit the circuit breaker and turn off all trading for just a few, I think for a few
Mm.
minutes or for 30 minutes, something like that. And
And to preserve itself. Yeah.
yes, so it gives people the chance to think about what they're doing. So instead of you panicking, it gives you like 10, 15, 20 minutes, or I think it's 30 minutes to rethink if you really want to sell your stocks or something like that. And it's really helpful because it stops the market from dropping large amounts in a short period of time. So what people don't know is the last time the circuit breakers were hit was in 2008. So
The
2000,
financial crisis.
yeah, the
Yeah.
last financial crisis, which was um, which was the cause of which the 2008's cause was the real estate market of the U.S. The U.S. real estate market, they started selling. Basically, what they did was they were selling properties to people who couldn't afford it. And
Mm.
when the real estate market, for example, if you are paying for $500,000 for a house, and then the price of the house went down to $300,000, and you're paying for the loan of a $500,000 house, what would you feel? You might think, why don't I just forego this loan? I get a bad record, but I can buy
But
again and at a cheaper value if you still have the money. And some people
yeah,
were discouraged
agree.
to continue their payments because of the negative effect on their investment. They were thinking, I bought this property, it's 500,000, it's gonna go up. Instead of going up, it went down. So they let go of their investment.
Mm.
So
I
lots,
see. I see.
lots and lots of in Filipino, maraming narimata. There's a lot of
Oh,
foreclosures in the market around 2008. So
incredibly unfortunate.
yeah. So the good thing about me personally, not good thing about me, but the one fortunately or unfortunately, I've been in the real estate for over 14 years. So I was also working in real estate during the time that the 2008 financial crisis happened. So this gives me a brief idea of what's gonna happen. It's not the same, but the things that you should do, excuse me, the things that you should do so to be to safeguard ourselves just in case the 2020 recession happens. The things that you should do should be the same. So people are wondering, is it time to buy stocks? Is it time to buy real estate?
Yeah.
And
Since things are going down, should you
yeah,
take advantage?
yes.
So that's what's on
So
people's mind.
yeah, that's what's going on in people's mind, like you said. And as we were talking about it before we shot this video, is that it's nice to give useful info to people on what they should do just in case the 2020 recession does happen.
Just
So
in case. We're not saying that it will happen. We don't know that,
yes,
but
we don't know
just in
that.
case.
Yeah, we don't know that, but if it does
Yeah,
happen, it's
if it
good
does.
to be careful about your personal financial habits.
Finances, yeah.
Yeah, your
And
finances. So
we're also gonna for you guys, of course, it's not just our best interest. We're not gonna hard sell you things if it's not a good move. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I see like
So
lots of that's the reason why
yeah,
some
drinks
brokers are
coffee.
still saying, sorry, I got a sip of coffee. So that's the reason why
I wish I had coffee right now. I don't.
haha because I prepared. So
Right.
so that's the reason why some brokers, don't you feel like it's kind of disingenuous, like some brokers are still saying that real estate is still gonna go up when actually we all know down deep down inside that it's gonna stall.
Everything, yeah, everything got affected by this scenario.
Yeah. So you know what happened in the US? I think they lost 6 million jobs last week.
Sorry, wait, last week?
Last week they lost
Oh,
6 million jobs, and
okay, yeah, that's definitely gonna affect the economy.
yeah, and the week before that they lost 3 million jobs,
Okay,
and that's not
right. That's
and
because the SMEs are falling, they're failing,
not just the
right?
SMEs. Like you know the
Well, a
tourism
lot of them, not
industry,
just them.
tourism
Oh,
industry.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Tourism industry definitely zero right now.
Yes, and also most of the restaurants they're gonna close down,
Mm.
and like I heard this news. I can't confirm this, but someone sent me some info that supposedly a cruise ship liner closed down their operations and they fired 6,000 OFWs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay, I can
what?
see it. Yeah,
So the thing that could happen here is
it's
so
terrible.
let's just explain why we have these tips that I'm about to share later. So you guys
Yeah,
have to watch till the end. So if you watch till the end, we'll give you the tips on how to take care of yourself during this 2020 possible recession. But right now,
possible
I just want
recession.
to explain what might happen. So someone there was this cruise ship liner that supposedly closed their operations. I don't know if it's just Filipinos or it's a mix of Filipinos and some
Or
ASEAN,
all their crew.
all
Yeah,
their
all their
crew.
crew.
Yeah, yeah, it's a mix. So basically, they let go about 6,000 OFWs. And I heard somewhere that I think Kuwait is also sending back OFWs home. I can't confirm this, but
Oh,
we can Google it later. And so, but regardless, this is a bad sign because the Philippines, our market is very much reliant on OFW remittances. That's why they're called
very.
the heroes of our country, di ba?
Yeah.
So saludo sa
Yeah.
mga OFWs. So they're considered the heroes of our country. That's why we got out of the 2008 recession. Now, the problem here is um, if all this happens and we can't really have steady inflows of dollars and we can't maintain the currency exchange between the peso and the dollar, this might affect our economy negatively. So
For sure.
yeah, so not to scare you guys, but there are a lot of things that we can do. So helpful tips that we want to share with you guys that Julia and we've been talking about this the past
Yeah, we
few
were talking
weeks.
about this for the past days,
Yeah. So how
basically.
we want to share some personal financial advice so that you people can weather the storm.
Yeah.
Because just to give an idea, if the recession does happen, and I think it will happen because I don't know if I think it was the World Bank that said there's a 53% chance we'll go into a global recession. So it's the whole world.
Okay. Yeah. Not
So
surprisingly, because this disease is global, so it's not just gonna
yes,
affect one area; it's everywhere.
yeah.
So
So
just to clarify, yeah.
go ahead, Julia.
No, no, no. I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
So what's gonna happen here is um, what's gonna happen here is if the recession does happen, always remember that in times of a great distress like a recession or a depression, that's the time where people can earn a lot of money. And I know this because personally, I invested right after the 2008 recession. But I didn't invest early enough. I invested, I think, 2010, if I remember
Yep.
correctly. So I earned a lot in terms of those investments. So I quadrupled my some of my accounts, but so the values of real estate that I invested in also quadrupled. So what I'm just trying to say, is I know that it's scary, but it's during the scary times where we separate the boys from the men, sort of like that. So this is the
Okay.
scary times where the people who know how to make money will be able to make more money. I'm not notwithstanding, of course, number one is we have to keep healthy. So
Of course.
that's the
Of course.
first and foremost most important thing. So there's
Yeah.
this disease that's coming around. So I hope everyone stays at home, keeps safe and everything. So that's number one. Make sure that everyone's healthy, and that's our number one concern. So but even though that's our number one concern, we have to take into consideration what's happening in the market. So let me give
Because
you.
at some point, this disease will pass. So we're left wondering what's going to happen afterward, right? So
Yeah,
it's not going
yeah,
to be as simple as going back to work and everything's going to be the same. It's not. It's going to be
yeah,
a little different because it hit the economy as well.
yeah,
So this
definitely.
is what we're trying to talk about.
Yeah, because lots of people will also lose their jobs.
Yeah.
So now, so first things first is just to give an idea. I want to explain to you the difference between um, what you can do as a person and
Mm-hmm.
the tips that you can do as a beginning investor, especially with this incoming recession. Because if you remember 2008 recession, the 2008 recession, it wasn't a 1 month thing. It wasn't a 2 month thing. It was 15 months.
Yeah.
So
It
it
was wild.
started earlier than September or October of 2008. It started earlier than October of 2008. I think it started 2007 and then
Mm-hmm.
ended around March of 2009.
Okay.
So it was a long period. So right now, we don't know if we're going to a recession yet, but it's just starting. And when it's starting, you have some room to prepare. So here are some tips which we believe would be helpful for you guys, for our Presello fam subscribers
Mm-hmm.
and our followers. So tip number one, since so what should we do? One thing that we talked about is the basics. Whatever happens right now, tip number one, you should reduce your expenses.
Spending. Yeah.
Yeah,
Reduce your
reduce your
expenses.
spending. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if
Which seems obvious, no? You have to remind people to, reduce their expenses.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you think about it, it's because
It seems obvious, but
yeah,
then,
the problem is some people might be in denial.
yeah,
They might be
exactly.
thinking that, oh, it's okay, the business landscape won't change, my
Yeah,
work won't
they might have been
change.
thinking, oh, I was at home for more than a month. I didn't spend anything. I work from home. I have extra money. No,
Yeah,
no, save it.
yeah, you should save it because whatever you were earning a year, last year, or a few months before
Yeah.
this crisis, it might not be still be there. Some people might lose their jobs. Some people might have lesser customers. So
Yeah.
number one that you should do, you should reduce your expenses. And number two is save money as much as possible and get a safety fund ready, a safety net fund. So when I say safety net fund, so number two, you have to have a
Emergency
safety
fund.
net fund. It means that
Mm.
you save about enough amount. Like for example, a good you have 6 months to 1 year of your living expenses tucked up and save put away in a bank account. Now,
Yeah.
and this is
So
just,
this is what you're not gonna touch.
yes, you won't touch this. You shouldn't touch this at all.
You shouldn't touch this
Yeah.
because safety net. It's your fallback just in case something happens. At least you know you have that peace of mind that for the next 6 or so months or year, it's up to you. You have money ready. You're not gonna have a hard time in terms of dealing with your daily expenses.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
so that's tip number two, because if you know, I think I shared. We were talking about this behind the camera, so I think I shared this with you. Like, there are some, there were some farmers that were,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
In
there were
December.
some farmers. Depends on what month it was. If it was the harvest month, during the time of the harvesting month, where they could reap what they sowed, and they were selling all of their crops, they had more money in their banks. And you know what? When they tested these farmers, you guys have to Google this. Just comment down below if you can find the link. If you
If
know
you
what this
found
is
the link or
about.
if you know about this article.
Yeah, about this study and article. So what happened was, these farmers, during the time of their, kumbaga, it's their payday, their IQ points shot up a few points. So their IQ points went up. And because, um, I was thinking, of course, because these people, they don't have to worry about money or where they're going to get their next meal. So when they don't have to worry or think about where they're going to get their next meal, their sense of well-being becomes more comfortable. So they have more well-being, more self-esteem. So parang this gives
Overall,
them,
in a healthier state of mind,
yeah.
knowing
So
that
kumbaga, their minds aren't too cramped. Kumbaga, lesser
not
bandwidth
too
ang nagagamit.
stressed. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, there you go.
So
They're
yun.
not as stressed about the daily things, so it kind of applies to us. We're not farmers,
Yeah.
but
So
how do we eat, right? How do we do anything in the city? It's with money.
yeah.
So yeah, because
So
we don't crop our own stuff. We just buy them.
yeah, we
So the
don't
equivalent
actually.
is for
We
us to
we
save
import a lot of
money.
stuff. The Philippines
Yeah.
imports a lot of stuff. So what happens here is, so what I'm saying here, so you're gonna tell me, it's nothing different. Saving is just basic. But remember this tips, because some people, they save just 1 month or 2 months. I suggest you save for 1 year.
Save more.
Save
Yeah.
more. Just save enough that you have 1 year, and you have that peace of mind to think of what you can do next. If, for example, if just in case an emergency, you lose your job or something, you have that ready. And we're in for a long haul, because we don't know how long this recession is going to be, if this happens. So this
If
could,
yeah.
yeah, this could last
But
1 year
even
or
if
2 years.
yeah, but even if it doesn't happen, it's still a good thing to have.
Yes, because
Regardless, because you never know what life's gonna throw your way. Life throws you curveballs, so it's always nice to have a safety net, financial safety net.
I agree.
All right.
That's the reason why number two is, you have to get a safety net fund ready. And number three, among the list of tips, is, I know you've already put on a safety fund, a safety net fund. Now, the second is, uh, when you have a safety net, you should have a separate bank account from
Okay.
the safety net.
So what are you going to put in this separate bank account?
This is all of your funds that's going to be your working allowance.
Okay, so this is the one that keeps moving.
Yes. So, for example, if I had a salary of, let's say, 15,000 pesos, and I was saving up for my safety net, let's say I get, I'll put 10,000 pesos into my working allowance account, and 5,000 pesos to my safety net fund
Mm.
every month, as much as possible. The
Yeah.
idea here is, your safety net fund, when you put it away, so everybody tells you to have a safety net fund, but no one teaches you how to really have a safety net fund, how to save the safety net, right? So the way to
Yeah.
save it is, you shouldn't look at it every day. If you look at it every day, you will spend that money.
Yeah,
most likely you will spend that money on frivolous things. So,
yeah. On things that you really, really want, and you're like, oh, I have extra money. Maybe I
yeah.
should just get a little bit. But then that's how
Yes.
it starts declining. So when you put money into your safety net account, forget about it.
Yes. It
Just
should be a different
forget.
account.
Yeah,
So, tip number 3 is to have a separate working allowance account and a safety net account. It should be
yeah.
separate. Could be the same bank, but let's say, for
You have to.
example, in your working allowance account, the you have an ATM for that. But for the safety net, you can have an ATM also, but you hide that ATM
You
away
hide
from
it.
your eyesight.
You don't bring it in your wallet.
Yes, and you don't look at it.
You put it in your closet
Yeah,
or
something like
something.
that. Or put it in a bag at home or
Or
something.
better yet, get an account without an ATM.
Yes.
Para over the counter. And actually, no, that's a bad idea. You should probably get an ATM. Because,
Mm.
sorry, sideline. I know someone who is now having trouble withdrawing money from the bank because the
Mm.
banks decided that they don't want to do transactions anymore. That's not directly related to them, right? I mean, kung pwede lang credit card payments and stuff like that. You can't
Mm.
withdraw money from your account. So now that my acquaintance doesn't have an ATM card, he doesn't know how to withdraw his money. Sabi ko, ay, paano ka nagkaroon ng ganyang problema in this day and age? Pero I guess some people never thought about it.
Yeah, because they
So I'm
did. No
telling
one,
you,
no one
yeah.
thought this would happen, right?
Yeah,
So
no one thought this would happen. So I'm telling you guys now, if your bank account doesn't have an ATM, switch to an account that has an ATM.
yeah, and keep
Because
that
ATMs,
safety net ATM away from your eyesight.
yeah.
Just
Oh, I
use
think
your
my camera
working
changed.
allowance.
What
Mm-mm.
happened to my camera? Whoops.
It got brighter.
Branding. It got wider. You saw more stuff than you should. Than you should. I haven't been drinking last night. Just kidding.
Okay, so
Okay, moving on.
moving on. So tip
A bit
number
messy.
so tip number 4. If another way that you can save money for me, which has been always one of the most obvious things, is always make your coffee at home. So don't buy
Yeah,
Starbucks.
sorry, I crap. Okay, that's kind of sad because this cup right now is it's branded of that brand that you just mentioned. But I do like making my coffee at home as much as possible.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to share to you guys here is some people they haven't noticed it yet, but sometimes how much they spend for a cup of coffee, 150, 160 pesos. So in the US that's $3. But if you make
Yeah,
your own coffee at home, could
it's gonna be
be
a lot cheaper. Yeah,
yes, it could
I
cost
mean
me
sometimes if you buy the what do you call this, the big pack of the ground coffee, yeah, it sounds expensive, but then the amount of coffee that you actually get every time you brew one, it's still gonna be cheaper than getting it outside.
yes, and this is
Yeah.
roughly just 15 to 20 pesos per cup.
Yeah, and that's not even 3-in-1. That's legit
That's the
coffee.
legit coffee. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna say any particular brand, but he does have a coffee maker at home, and it's super nice.
So, tip number 4, if you guys like coffee or drinking milk tea or stuff like that, I suggest you make those things at home. You don't have
Yeah,
to spend money to enjoy life, and
yeah,
that money that you save, 100, that's 150 pesos. If I'm spending 20 pesos, I save 130 pesos. 130 pesos, that's roughly, let's say I have two coffees a day, that's 260 pesos. 260 pesos, let's say that's about uh 30 days in a month. That's basically around 7,800 pesos. So that's
saving.
7,800 pesos you can save.
Yeah,
If you're having just one coffee per day, you're saving 3,800 pesos. 3,900, 3,900 pesos.
I like how
So
faster your brain is working with math. Good job.
that's simple mathematics.
Yes.
So tip number 4, make your own coffee at home. Or if milk tea, make your own milk tea at home. And then
Yeah. The point is make it at home. Whatever it is that you're always buying outside, try to make it at home. It will save you money.
Mm,
But that's pretty obvious. It's just people need reminding.
yeah. And tip number 5, just a small reminder: luxury items are not investments. So some people,
So when you say luxury items, do you mean like watches,
watches, let's
cars?
cars, jewelry. So some people will say, but jewelry holds some of its value. Some of the
Mhm.
watches holds some of its value, right? Like some people bought a Rolex 5, 6 years ago and selling double now than what it did 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But that's all dependent on the current situation. If if everyone's desperate, who's gonna buy a Rolex at a higher price? If you're desperate, Rolex or high luxury watch. Sorry, I'm not trying to hit on Rolex, but I'm saying if you have a luxury
Yeah.
watch or a luxury jewelry or a luxury car, and I think it's more apparent it's a car that the car's prices go down. But if you have luxury watches, luxury jewelry, or luxury bags, the value of those won't hold in a bad market
In a
situation.
bad situation, yeah.
Yes.
They do best, but the market is great. But when it's a little on the negative side, it also does pretty badly.
Yes. Bullseye. That's what exactly
Yeah.
what you said. So so
Yeah.
if it's like that's why we get along. We understand each other. so
Well,
so
that's why we're
if
in the same place.
yeah. So what happens here is if you imagine, if you have a luxury watch and you bought it as a terms of like investment, thinking it's gonna keep some of its value, and people will see me owning this watch, and I can sell more insurance, or I can sell more policies, or I can sell more real estate, or I can sell more of my auto supply store or something like that, or my hardware supplies. Just to give a good impression. That idea won't
Oh,
hold
it's
during a
gonna work out.
recession. So that idea won't hold during a recession. So just in case that does happen, what's gonna happen here
Yeah.
is the value of all these items.
Hello?
Yeah,
Sorry.
did you get cut off?
My, I think I got cut off. I'm not sure.
I can
But
see you now.
okay, hopefully it didn't get cut off on your side. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
so,
Sorry, it's
so
this whole online meeting thing is new
it's
to
new
us
to
because we're
us.
technically millennials. Well, I'm
We're
a millennial.
I'm a
I'm
millennial.
not sure if Don is.
I'm a millennial.
Okay, okay.
I'm the
Yeah, no,
elder
no, Don is a
millennial.
millennial. Yeah, yeah, the elder millennial.
I'm
I'm
the
part of
grandpa
the middle.
millennial.
I think yeah, almost on the younger side of the millennials. But it's kind of weird because when you say millennial, you would think young. Actually, hindi. Matanda na mga millennial. It's a different generation now that's on the young side. Anyways, going back.
Going back.
And so we're still
So
getting used. We're still getting used to this digital meeting thing.
so in terms
Okay.
of luxury items, so these items they're not investments. So they're
Mhm.
don't think of them as investments, because the value of that won't hold during a bad situation. Because if during a time of recession, and everyone knows that business is bad. If you're gonna sell your watch, everyone knows that you need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever the value of these investments are, these luxury watches, luxury jewelry, it won't hold during a time like this. It will hold some of the value, but not all of it.
For sure. I mean, I guess I actually have a friend who is in UAE now,
Mm-mm.
and he told me that a few weeks ago there was an influx of people. Like all the stores were closing and everything, the restaurants were closing, but then there was an influx of people going to jewelry stores buying bars of gold.
Mm,
So because the prices of gold went super low, that's why people were buying. I guess to an extent, yeah, sure. If you have like a little bit of extra money, why not buy a
mm,
bar of gold? Sure, why not? But don't put all of your investment on that. Like, don't waste your money on that because again, as Don said, it's situational, right?
mm.
You don't know. you could buy one just because it's low, but don't invest in it too much to the point that you expect it to have another, for it to have higher prices in the future and then sell it back because it's not very reliable.
Yeah. And I don't know about the gold advice because I don't know if it's gonna go up again soon.
It might not go up soon.
Soon, it might not go up again
And it
soon.
will it will probably, if the market, I mean when the market,
Goes up.
gets better again.
But that's for another video.
Yeah, that's for another
What you
video.
can invest in. But right, so I hope we're gonna shoot that too. So and finally, the last advice is always remember that when you treat money, don't treat it as like a um, don't treat it like as a logical instrument. Think of it as an emotional instrument. So because everyone knows this thing where they're saying that if you just keep your money in the bank, it's gonna be wasteful.
It's gonna be stagnant. It's
It's
gonna be
gonna be
stale.
stagnant. It's gonna stale. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be wasteful because it's sleeping money. It's not working money. But
Yeah, natutulog.
natutulog supposedly. That's what they call it. Natutulog ang pera,
Yeah.
di ba? The money is sleeping. So
Yeah.
but that's only for people who treat it like a logical instrument, a financial instrument. If you treat it with the whole idea of understanding a human's behavior and a human's well-being, you should treat it as like an emotional instrument. So,
So what do we mean by treating money as an emotional instrument?
so for example, uh, if you have this money in the bank, and of course it's yun nga sabi nila natutulog daw yung pera, but hindi naman but they're not thinking about the benefit that it gives you when it's in the bank. Because like when we mentioned before, is if you have money in the bank, people's well-being it goes up.
Yeah.
So this goes back to what we were saying with tip number one.
Saying earlier.
Yeah, that's tip number two, which was to have a safety net fund. If you keep that around, it's gonna boost your well-being and also boost your mindset.
Yeah.
So there,
keeping money as an emotional instrument, meaning
understand
for your peace
that.
of mind.
Yes, keeping it for your peace of mind. You're keeping, for example, imagine yourself. You already, for example, you've saved over 300,000 pesos or half a million or 1 million pesos, and instead of going out and eating in high-end restaurants, you just go to the sari-sari store, the turo-turo down the street, and you just eat something worth 45 pesos.
Yeah.
And deep down inside, I can eat this every day and it wouldn't dent my savings.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
we're not saying that you should get attached to your money. That's completely different, okay?
Yeah.
It's just, you just need money for your peace of mind, knowing that you can move on a day-to-day basis without having to worry about things that you otherwise would have worried about if you didn't have money.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there.
So, yeah.
And okay. So there you have it, guys. Those are the tips that we gave. If you like this video, please give us the thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Lots of
and
it.
Click subscribe.
Hit subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, if you haven't already, yung walang hiya kayo, hindi pa kayo nagsasubscribe. I see you. We see you.
We see you.
We see you.
We see you watching the video.
Yeah, you're watching the video. You're not subscribing. We see you. So please subscribe.
Alright, so make sure you subscribe and you click that bell icon to get notified for whenever we release these crazy videos. Because we keep trying new formats of videos. And we try to see if it works. So you liking our stuff tells us that, hey, this thing works. We should keep it up. So it really does help. And yeah, we have more things to talk about. But for now, we're going to end this particular video. So guys, you know what to do. Comment down below if you have any thoughts and if you have anything to add in our conversation. And we will see you soon. Again, my name is Julia and this is Dawn. And thank you, Presello fan, for sticking with us throughout this whole lockdown. See you on the next video.
Okay, see you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.